Hello, I'm William Longfellow, and welcome to Let's Play Super Mario Kart. Today I'll be racing the Star Cup with Tiny Princess. And I'm going to let myself get crushed, and the challenge is going to be for me to catch up to the other computers. Now, if you weren't here for the last few videos, what I'm doing is I'm shrinking my character by pressing A while holding Y on the character select screen. And that means I can be easily crushed just by touching one of the opposing racers. And my top speed is also a little bit lower. So this will be a little bit more difficult than a normal run through Super Mario Kart. Now I'm using the Princess, who is a character with high acceleration like Yoshi, and that means that I can make a few more mistakes because I'll be able to accelerate quickly, and if I'm in the path of a computer that's trying to crush me, then I'll be able to escape them more easily. Now on this course I've already made myself back up to first place, and it's not terribly difficult because there are a whole lot of different ways you can take to avoid coming into the enemy computers, because the track itself is relatively wide and you have these shallow waters which provide, if nothing else, a shorter path even though you're going to be going more slowly. So for instance, if you want to avoid a computer on a turn, you can take it on the very inside in the shallow water instead of going on the island, and you'll be slower, but if you're going faster than the computer to begin with, you'll probably be able to pass them that way. The composer for Super Mario Kart, Soyo Oka, has said that her favorite songs that she's composed for this game are the theme for the Princess that you just heard right there, and the Rainbow Road theme. And I kind of like them both, although I like most of the music in this game. And I'm going to let myself get crushed here. Here we have another course, the Choco Island course. And it's not terribly difficult. This mud puddle provides a very wide area, but right off this curve is a good place to get crushed, just like I did right there. Because it's hard to avoid the path that the computers are going to try to take. They make that turn pretty on the inside there. Fortunately, I was able to put an obstacle right in Bowser's path, so things will be a little bit easier for me catching up in general. Now, I'm more used to Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. in terms of characters I use, and there I used that red shell to prevent Donkey Kong Jr. from cutting me off on the turn like Yoshi did before. But I'm more used to Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr., but actually Princess and Yoshi control very much like the heavyweight characters because of their low turning radius, or their wide turning radius rather. Their low control. And so I can make my turns kind of like what I would do with Bowser and Donkey Kong Jr. And so really the choice between a character like Princess and a character like Bowser is, would you rather have the high top speed, or would you rather have the sort of almost instant acceleration that Princess and Yoshi have? And in general I prefer the top speed. I like being able to sort of race ahead of the computers, and that way if I make a mistake it's more forgivable because I'm already far enough ahead of the computers that I won't be punished for it. But it depends a lot on playstyle. Actually, the Let's Player that I mentioned in the last video, the Spielmeister, he prefers Princess and Yoshi because they accelerate quickly, and if you make a mistake, then you're less likely to be crushed. Now this Vanilla Lake course is one of the hardest courses for me to catch up on because I have a lot of trouble gathering speed. As I said before, this is not one of my better courses. There are a lot of things that get in my way, but fortunately I'm using a character with high enough acceleration that even taking a small stretch of snow, like what I did several times here, isn't going to hurt me too much. I'm already back up in fourth place. In terms of what opponents it's good to have, sort of as their general second, third, and fourth place rivals, Mario and Luigi are probably the best if you're a tiny character because their star power is redundant with the fact that they can crush you anyways. It's in fact a little bit better to be hit with star power than it is to be crushed. If you get hit with Mario or Luigi star powers, you wipe out, and sometimes that leaves you off the path of the other computers. And wiping out is a little bit faster than being crushed entirely. So actually Bowser is probably, if you prefer heavyweight characters, Bowser is the easiest character because he faces Mario and Luigi, who use star power, and then the next rival after that is Princess, who throws the poison mushrooms, which will make you grow instead of shrink. So it's actually relatively easy for Bowser in terms of just the rivals. But you have to race pretty confidently. You have to be sure that once you're in first place, you can sort of charge ahead of the other computers. Now here is one of the hardest courses in the game to catch up on. It's actually a pretty easy course if you can stay in first, because the computers sort of mess up trying to catch up to you. But if you're not in first place, then it's very difficult because there are a lot of narrow passages here. And it's very easy to be caught up in certain places in the course. There are a lot of walls, and there are those 4 thwomps in a row that are very difficult to pass right here. Like right there, I got lucky with the thwomps because none of them decided to fall on me, but then I got crushed by Donkey Kong Jr. It'll be a challenge for me to catch up right now. Let's see if I can squeeze by Yoshi here. There, I was a little bit lucky. That was too close for comfort, I think, with Yoshi. Just try to avoid those thwomps coming down. That passage, especially if you take the speed boost there, requires a lot of very quick thinking. You have to immediately see which thwomps are coming up and which are about to fall down, and make your path accordingly. Oopsies. Oh, that was bothersome. That may well cost me a few places. I don't know if I can catch up right now. There, I'm in 3rd place. I'll probably be able to save at least 2nd right now, if I race well. I'm gonna take the turn on the inside, cut off Mario a little bit. And yeah, I think Toad's a little too far ahead. Oh, whoops. Well, now definitely I'm gonna get 2nd place here. Maybe if I got the speed boost and took a very good turn, I could have squeezed by Toad. But I missed the speed boost by just a little bit. And here we have the 4th Mario Circuit course, actually. And since it's a very long course, being crushed like that is not going to make too much of a difference. There have actually been times where I raced this course and I finished the 4th lap and I'm not thinking very straight. And I think that I finished the race. I let go of the accelerator and then I hear the music come up for the final lap and I panic a little bit. Let's pass Yoshi on the left here. I like taking sort of an outside curve coming into the finish line and then an inside curve right after the finish line. I think the computers leave me enough room for that to be the optimal thing. Ooh, and Yoshi's right on my tail. Turn very on the inside there. Let's see if I can pass Luigi here. Almost. And slow down and leave him a little bit of room, and now I can pass him on the left. You have to turn pretty precisely. Oopsies. You have to turn pretty precisely coming off the finish line to be able to pass computers there. But I think it is a pretty good place on this course to do so. That turn can also be taken very much on the inside to catch up to computers, but it's a little bit harder. It's a very much a hairpin. And I used that mushroom to catch up to those computers, to pass them by. In general, I think when you're catching up as a small character, it's more important to use the mushroom to time your mushroom use for passing computers than it is to use it just when sort of it's optimal on the course. For instance, there might be a place on the course like this sandy area where you can cut a lot by using the mushroom, but sometimes I think it's better to save it for passing the computer because that's the real challenge in this when you play Tiny. And now I've caught up, and if I race consistently enough, I'll be able to finish in first place. There we go. Right ahead of Bowser, always chasing the princess. I think it's kind of cute how the rivals, the order that Super Mario Kart gives for whichever character you use, has a little bit to do with what that character is like. For instance, the princess is always chased by Bowser. Bowser's always chased by the Mario Brothers. So that's the Star Cup. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Next video I'll be doing the Special Cup with Tiny Toad. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.